Hotter than a brick. What's that? Man, I should go over there and sling this goddamn pole right now. There's some fish all up in this little spot right here. I'll do it later. Hold up, let me wipe. Wipe y'all motherfucking eyes. Wiped and cleared, right? So, well. We're gonna get fucked up today or what? Nah, not today. You can give me a few drinks though, man, because it's hump day. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so we're gonna start this video off with the people out there that's making all these videos, all these posts and shit like that about this Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight, right? We've been through this before. We have seen memes from these guys. We've seen this before with these guys, right? So what I'm saying is, it makes no to me ain't entertaining the bullshit until they have an official fight announcement. I'm not entertaining the bullshit. All the people out there that got mad at Terrence Crawford, now all of a sudden they believe Terrence Crawford. Yeah, it gets a little trippy at just one little tolerant on Terrence Crawford, but what? For what? Now y'all believe because somebody out here saying he said the fight is being announced, right? Now everybody believe him, but you're calling him all kind of liars, called him out of his name, and all that shit. But now all of a sudden, folks out here, I don't get y'all, man. I don't get y'all. I seriously don't. Like, everybody thirsty to come out with news to try to be the first one so they can get some views. Stop it. We've been through this before with this. What was it, like 3, 4, 5, 6 times, something like that, with no fight announcement, but people saying it's announced. From the Mike Cavengers, the Michael Bensons, all that shit, right? Come on, man. I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how desperate can people be, right? You get your chain yoink one time, but you keep going back for more, like you a glutton for punishment. You can't, like, folks can't grasp the understanding is that it don't matter if you get fooled 3, 4 fucking times and you're ready to get fooled for the 5th time. What does that say about you? What does that say about you? I don't care about the memes. I don't care about none of that shit. Right? I don't care about none of that shit. Either y'all gonna fight or y'all not. Now, is it Devin Haney and Loma shit? Every time somebody said, like, I don't understand why, like, do people not know what the definition of hate is? I don't know what it is with folks. If somebody wants to believe that Lomachenko won either unanimously or split decision, mid-decision, majority decision, well, I don't give a fuck what it is. Whatever decision. Let them have their fucking opinion. I don't care if it's a rapper, a movie star, whatever. Let them have their fucking opinion. Right? like Devin Haney calling the dude a sore loser. If the dude really believed that he won, is he a sore loser? Are we going to start calling Jack Cantrell a sore loser? Right? Even though it was obvious. But you got to think, judging a fight is subjective. It's subjective. Judging a fight is subjective. So if somebody wants to believe that it was this astronomical fucking spread on their scorecard for Devin Haney, that's all them. That's from their perspective. And can't nobody take it back. You know what I'm saying? Once whatever they put on that scorecard and they sign off, can't nobody take it back. Ain't none. I don't. You can contest it all you want, but like I said in the previous video, you can't just like I said with the previous video. If people want to make sure that fights are scored right, they can't start with themselves. They got to start with the first thing smoking, and that's other people's fights. You can't just say, "Oh, I was robbed," but then when the whole course of robberies, right? In the whole grand scheme of robberies, when we see legitimate robberies, right? Where is Lomachenko's trainer at, or team at when it comes to that, right? I don't care who it is, because we saw one a week or two ago. We saw a real robbery. Where was they at on that? I forget what the fight was, but where was they at with that? Nowhere near to be found. You know, but it's always out of convenience for you and not the sport of boxing. So when your ass get robbed, which let's keep it real. If you're a promoter, you're a manager, or you're a fighter, right? You're not gonna get the decision that you feel that you deserve, right? But in the case of doing so, you don't do nothing about it, but either keep it to yourself or bitch and moan. But you don't fight for what is right. But everybody in the sport of boxing, when it comes to judges, they only fight for what's convenient for them. Andre, what's happening? Facts. Laugh out loud. At least the celebs bring more eyes to the sport. Isn't that what we want? That's what a lot of people say. That's what a lot of people say. So you could say that's what we want, yeah, because a lot of people say that. You know, they always say, "Ooh, all the stars come to the fight." You know what that means? That means everybody's gonna be paying attention to blueprint to making them famous. Bruce Gass, what's happening, my brother? You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely right. But who cares? And then people acting like these movie stars and these rappers or whatever, these famous people. Sorry, how about we say that? They act like these famous people have been watching boxing for years. They act like most of them fly by night. They got enough money to go see the fight and sit where we would all like to sit at a drop of a dime. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why you want to bitch and moan. Why people want to cry about it. People know who watch boxing and who don't watch boxing. Like, we can look at Max Kellerman, right? We can say that Max Kellerman does know his boxing. But we could also say that Max Kellerman has detached himself from boxing for years and don't even know what's really going on. For years and don't even know what's really going on. But when he put on that suit and tie and get up there, all of a sudden he's the resident. All of a sudden somebody put him on a pedestal to be the resident expert. For people like I say, the fly-by-night fans. And that's the reason why you see people like Devin Haney get done like the way he do. Right? This is the reason. That's the reason why. It's like, think about it. Why would somebody get up in the ring and the first thing smoking, they ask Tank Davis, "Do you believe that you're the face of boxing now?" Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Right? It's all a setup. It's all a setup. Like nobody, like real boxing fans, in my opinion, don't give a fuck who's the fucking face of boxing. I seriously believe that real boxing fans really only care about any given Saturday. Watching top tier fights, right? Watching 50-50 fights if they can't get that. You know, watching the fight and seeing an upset. Right? Watching a fight and that keeps them on the edge of their seat. Right? I don't think nobody cares about fucking who's the face of fucking boxing. But a lot of people after that, guess what happened? Another argument ensued on who's the face of boxing and why, and with some bitch ass fucking penny ante ass debates. Right? People ain't got nothing to talk about. Right? Nothing to talk about. There's only a few people on this damn fucking YouTube and Twitter that I see that legitimately have something to talk about, because they actually have insight on what was happening during those times, and they can actually talk about some of the people they see in the stands from old videotapes. A lot of these cats, they're too young and too dumb to even do so. Right? They're too young and too dumb to do so, but they act like they know everything. And y'all see them all the time. They act like they know everything. Like, why the fuck I want to watch a fucking hypothetical fight, a hypothetical breakdown between a hypothetical fight breakdown from somebody that I know that don't know boxing. They have like absolutely no insight on what was going on then. They have absolutely no insight what was going on then. They can't tell me what was the drink of choice back then. They can't tell me what was the atmosphere back then. They can't tell me the music. They can't tell me shit that they remember leading up to the fight. They can't tell me anything on the undercard or who they remember that was on that fight, because they watched it live and in color. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Ain't nothing to talk about. Whether there is shit to talk about, but who's the face of boxing? And this Earl Spence and Crawford shit ain't worth talking about unless undisputed is undisputable. Right? Unless undisputed is undisputable, there is no sense of talking about who's the face of boxing. Unless undisputed is undisputable, there makes no sense talking about who's the face of boxing. There makes no sense talking about Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence Jr., right? Because the history shows there's been multiple occasions of fight announcements, people buying tickets and shit, people telling other people to buy tickets and shit, and don't nothing happen from it. It's either they make the fight or not. Talking about a hypothetical when you was already paid the fool 3 or 4 fucking 5 times makes me believe that the only reason why you talking about it is because, for one, you's a sucker. 2, you talked all that shit about one or the fighters, but now you believe the two, one or the other, right? That you thought was wrong, and all because illusions of gander. Because you got suckered in the illusions of gander. And third, I think it's because folks know people is going to talk about it. They're going to get the most views and shit. Because boxing ain't fucking dead, right? Because boxing is not fucking dead. It ain't died not once. It ain't never going no goddamn where, right? So everybody knows, even the fly-by-nights are going to tune in and listen to what? They're going to tune in and listen to what the fuck people got to talk about on the biggest fight in boxing. Because that's what it is. That's what it is. Dana White can say whatever he wants to. All these people out there that want to compare UFC to boxing can say what all they want to, but it's fucking apples and oranges, and Dana White got his shit fucked up too. He can't even pay his fucking fighters. Ask yourself that. If the UFC was doing so good, how come they can't pay their fucking fighters? Right. But it's apples and oranges. Boxing ain't dead. If boxing was dead, how come all these UFC fighters want to box? How come all the, more UFC, there's more MMA fighters that want to box than boxers want to do MMA? If boxing was so dead. You know what I'm saying? Almost everything out there that somebody says, every comment, every video, everything is disputable. Ain't nothing set in stone. Don't nobody fucking know. But all of a sudden, we got all these know-it-alls. We got all these resident experts. Got a whole bunch of them too. Let's see here, right? Devin Haney beats Lomachenko. History of boxing, ain't no ruling like this have ever been overturned. But they still petition out of principle, knowing that there's a 99.9% chance that they're going to waste their time and money petitioning. Then how the fuck are you going to petition with no evidence? What evidence do you got, right, that says that there were bad scoring in this fight for a rematch or overturning the ruling? What do you have? Do you have evidence of somebody getting paid off? Do you have evidence of somebody sleeping on the job? Do you have evidence of dereliction of duty? What do you have? Right? All you got is a fucking opinion. All you got is an opinion. Because, like I said before, judging a fight, scoring a fight, those judges, the parameters that boxing give them, right, to score a bout is subjective. Is upon its interpretation. If Jack Reese can get out there and tell y'all what the fuck he does with reffing a fucking fight when they got rules and regulations, right? And he like to do what he want to do in the spirit of boxing, right? That tells you it's subjective. Over the history of fucking boxing, right? How come a 10 count is not 10 seconds? How come nobody has ever tried or attempted to get that rule changed? Right? It's 10 seconds, not a 10 count. How come? Right? See what I'm saying? They could have a big ass clock on the top. When the score counter press the button and it just goes 1. And the ref ain't got to say shit. Just got to watch. I'm just saying. Everything in boxing, almost every single fucking rule in boxing is up for interpretation. You know, and I ain't heard of one person, right? I'm not talking about in fucking writing, petition to have a rule changed. Not once. So if people want to come out here and say Lomachenko, they believe Lomachenko shit is gonna get overturned and all that shit, where's the facts? And another thing, ain't nobody hating. There's probably a few people out there hate on Devin Haney or Lomachenko. A few, a small amount. But everybody think if you on the other side of the spectrum with these guys, you're a hater. Paulie Malignaggi set the tone for the great race debates. If you believe that Devin Haney won, you don't like white fighters. He set the tone. So, just saying. Anyways, I'm gonna get up out of here and get something to eat. Shout out to the whole entire world, and everybody stay sucker free.